So Diddy had a problem. He was just sentenced to 50 months in prison, which is around 4 years. Now, the problem isn't the time he was sentenced for. The problem is how he was sentenced. Because see, the thing is, Diddy and his lawyers thought he had a really good chance of going home today. Why, you ask? Well, because what he was charged for was transporting professional Netflix watchers, if you don't know what that means, look in the comments, across state lines. And nobody really goes to jail for that charge. So Diddy and his lawyers thinking, okay, we good, right? The judge said, now who said you good? And here's where Diddy's problems begin. Because even though people don't go to jail for what Diddy did, you still can go to jail. In Diddy's case, up to 22 years. But it's up to a judge to decide what's a reasonable amount of time. Now, in this judge's case, he sat there through the whole trial listening to Diddy admit to crime after crime after crime, like domestic violence, amongst other things, because Diddy wasn't charged for these things. So just admitting to crimes. The judge sitting there like, Diddy's lawyer said, but he wasn't charged for the big stuff. Am I right, Judge? The judge said, how about we just talk at sentencing? Boom, it's time for sentencing. Diddy's lawyer said, look, Judge, you decide what's reasonable. Nobody gets charged for these sorts of crimes. Diddy already served 14 months. Let's just let him go. The judge said, okay. Prosecutor said, Diddy admitted to a lot of crimes. You sat here, you heard it yourself. How about we give him 11 years? The judge said, okay. Diddy's lawyer said, now hold on, you laughed at me and you nodded at him. Those were two different okays. The judge said, Diddy's lawyer said, oh, it's time to spice things up a bit. Diddy's family. Diddy and his family crying in the courtroom, pleading for less time. The judge said, he was not moved. Now, something I forgot to tell you is the first sentencing meeting, they do something called sentencing guidelines, basically saying the rules of the time that we're going to give Diddy. So the rules are, he's not going to get 11 years. He's not going to get 0 years. Maximum, we talking 5 to 6 years. The next meeting, they do the actual sentencing, where the judge begins to cuss Diddy out. Basically saying, out of all the crimes you admitted to doing for decades, you think I'm going to just let you walk out of here for free? Boy, you gotta see some time. The judge continues on to say, because of your power and resources, you probably would have kept going. So the judge says 4 years, but you did your little time served, so you're gonna be in jail for 3 years. Diddy breaks down. Diddy's lawyers get pissed, saying, you basically a 13th juror. You not being fair, judge, all that. The judge said, yeah. Diddy got a problem, tell him to call me on the jail phone, I'm out. And at the end of everything, Diddy's lawyers did say that they are going to appeal the judge's decision. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but in my opinion, it seems like the judge was well within his rights to grant Diddy the time that he granted him. So they probably won't win the appeal, and Diddy's going to serve some time.